Whole brain teaching is a strategy that I use frequently in my class to engage my students. We focus on using auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. Whole brain teaching naturally segments instruction because typically students can't focus longer than 5 to 7 minutes. So I teach 5 to 7 minutes, and then I implement a whole brain teaching strategy, which enhances student learning. So they're not just sitting and getting, they are manipulating the information, they are doing gestures, they are teach-okaying. All right, so I'm going to give you a second in your table group. You guys are going to come up with a gesture for globalization. What can you come up with to symbolize globalization? So globalization is the process of integration among people, companies, and governments worldwide. All right, go.
Globalization is a process of integration among people, companies, and governments worldwide.
Table number 1, are y'all ready? Mirror you. Globalization is the process of integrating amongst people and companies and government worldwide. All right, good job. What I like about it most is it gives me like class structure. And for the most part, it helps with classroom discipline because when they're engaged in these systems, they're too busy to be off task. It gives me an opportunity to like quickly assess what they know because if they're actively doing the lesson and engaging in the gestures and creating their own gestures, it shows me that they're processing the information and that they're actually grasping the concepts that I'm teaching. It's an invaluable tool because I've noticed like on tests and assessments when I've taught them a gesture, the kids will like be doing whatever the gesture is and helping themselves actually learn the content. When I say go, you guys are going to teach okay. You're going to teach okay the 3 causes of globalization. You're going to say communication. This is my communication. All right, you're going to say technology because I'm on my laptop, all right, or you can get on your iPad, your choice. And then you're going to say transportation because what am I doing? I'm flying. All right, so when I say teach, you're going to say okay, and you're going to teach okay with your table mates, 3 causes of globalization. Teach. The person that's doing the talking is the person that's doing the learning. So Teach OK is a strategy that I use to help recall like a list of things, and the kids are required to either teach their partner or just say it to themselves. So I use it in a variety of different ways. Sometimes I have the kids teach OK a listed concept. Sometimes I have them teach OK like definitions, and it's just for them to get to say it because typically what they say they remember. So I try to give them opportunities to say a lot. All right, class. You got 2. I'm 2 behind on the scoreboard. All right, so can we make an inference as to the causes of globalization based on the things that you see? Class Yes is our classroom callback. We use Class Yes when we're transitioning between activities. Typically, I use it when I'm using the Kagan strategies. A lot of times I like to use the table rally, and table rally requires every student to talk. Everybody has a voice. And so when they're actively engaged in their conversation, sometimes they get carried away. Maybe something they're really interested in. The Class Yes is what I use to call them back. Oh, class.
Oh, yes.
All right, so my participation still was not at 100%. All right, but I am going to give you a point because Jatavian came up with his own. The students are naturally competitive. And so just by me doing a competition with me versus them, even if there was no prize, they want to win. What they don't know is that most of the time I want them to win as well, because if they're winning, that means that they're on task. Whole brain teaching is just like good teaching. It's a lot of the things that we use with whole brain is what all good teachers do. But when they're intentional about it, they'll help with student achievement and student growth.